evening. This is Kala Sridhar from the Optimus studio at the Rotary International President's Conference at Hyderabad. Today, we are very privileged to have Zainab Patel, DEI activist, in our studio. Hi Zainab, good evening.
Namaskar.
Yeah. So, how was it? First, let me begin with asking you, how was today's conference? What was the experience?
I think it was extremely pulsating. You could feel the energy across age groups, across gender. And I feel we spoke so much about inclusivity that even someone who is just a bystander, who is just listening to the visuals, who's just hearing the audio, is going to ask, कि ये inclusion क्या है? I think the fact is that we've been able to normalize topics of inclusion. We are no longer talking about taboo topics. We are talking about everyday topics. We are talking about human topics. You're talking about you and me. So I think that kind of energy, that kind of passion is the one that's driving the Rotary Presidential Conference.
I happened to attend the Zoom meeting where breaking the bias, and I learned quite a few things. Now, that was a Zoom meeting, and today there were about 3,000 dignitaries attending the conference. How did you feel when?
See, when you speak in a virtual space, you can't really gauge the engagement. You can only anticipate that there are some people who are putting messages in the chat box, who are probably putting emoticons, etc., that they are interested in the conversation. But when you sit in an audience, when you sit and see a face of humanity, you can actually feel that they are engaged with you or they are disengaged with you. Believe me, when our session started at 5:30, I thought this is going to be a dud session. It's 5:30, people are tired, people are irritated, people are going in and out. But the energy in the room, through applauds right through, to people participating, to people coming backstage, congratulating, wanting to take pictures with us, giving us celebrity status. I think all of it, some of it may sound vain, but for me it is an indicator of the human connect that we've made. And I think this is the possibility of seeing people face to face, interacting, that you not only tug at their minds, their hearts, you make a connect physically. There are so many people who come to take a selfie, they stand next to you. How would that really have been possible if we had to do it virtually? No.
Can you say something about DEI?
So diversity, equity and inclusion, these are terms which have been used for a very long time, but all of us are guilty in misusing these terms. We talk about equity equal it to equality. We talk about inclusion and we think it's diversity. Diversity is all of us. By nature, Prakriti is diverse. Can you find two mangoes tasting the same? Can you find two roses looking the same? Can you find a slug that smells the same? If it's no, the reason is that nature has given you a diverse imprint. Inclusion is what makes us human, where we go around saying that I know you are different from me, I am different from you, but we both celebrate each other. Your lived realities are there, my lived realities are there, but who said we cannot coexist and thrive? But equity is going one step forward. It is saying that great that you are there, great that Shanta is there, great that I am in the room, but what will it take to bring Zainab, who's always been excluded, up to the level of participation? Just giving an entry to a space doesn't ensure participation. Those random acts of kindness, of inviting, including, celebrating, prompting, encouraging, is what equity is all about.
Thank you, Zainab. I just wanted to ask, what do you think about brand endorsement by transgenders?
Okay. I think, so I'll look at it as 2 points because I also do brand endorsements in a way. I think it has its own positive and negative. There are brands who have not done a lot but want to ride on the wave of endorsements and endorsements by trans people to show they are an inclusive organization. At the other hand, brands not endorsing or not featuring trans people or other by non-binary people makes a case that okay, I don't really care whether they are part of the audience, they are part of my customer base or not. So I think one has to look at brand endorsement with a very keen eye to see what is being promoted. Is it a one off event? Is it like an International Women's Day event? Is it like the Transgender Day event? Or is it 365 day? And if a brand is going to be standing behind you and said, yes, you are also my customer base, please go ahead and do it.
I remember there was a Hindustan Liver had this was at the Cannes festival where they had performed, the band had performed at
Right.
the festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is one last message that you would like to give? One important message that you would like to give?
I think the only message that I would like to give everyone is that in order to be seen as an inclusive person, you have to let go of your prejudices. We all are prejudiced. Anyone who has a brain has a prejudice because that teaches us whom to be friends with, whom not to be friends with, what to buy, where to buy. Some of it is good, some of the biases are good. But in order to be truly inclusive, you cannot afford to be saying that I'm an exclusive person. The world has shrunk, society has shrunk. You cannot afford to be a bystander or an outstander. You have to be an instander, and for that, you need to listen, to embrace, and to celebrate diversity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zainab. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for gracing our studio today.
Thank you.